In the last class, we have discussed about auxin and cytokinin. In this class, auxin and cytokinin mean auxin and gibberellin. In this class, we will discuss about another plant growth hormone which is known as ethylene. Ethylene having chemical formula this. It is an unsaturated hydrocarbon gas. It is an unsaturated hydrocarbon gas, and it naturally acts as a plant hormone. Generally, it acts throughout the life of a plant. It acts throughout the life of the plant. And it mainly regulates the ripening of the fruit. Another function is opening of flowers, and also involved in abscission of leaves. Abscission means the shedding of leaves. So, एथिलीन का प्रोडक्शन या इसका अकरेंस ये कहाँ पाया जाता है और वेयर इट इज फाउंड. सो इट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम all parts of the plant body, just like leaf, fruit, stem, leaf, etc. During the life cycle of a plant, जो एथिलीन का प्रोडक्शन है वो इंड्यूस हो जाता है. एथिलीन प्रोडक्शन इज इंड्यूस्ड. एथिलीन प्रोडक्शन इज इंड्यूस्ड. कब इंड्यूस होता है? देखिए कब इंड्यूस होता है. फर्स्टली ड्यूरिंग जर्मिनेशन, यानी कि जब सीड जर्मिनेट करता है उस टाइम. सेकेंड, ड्यूरिंग राइपनिंग ऑफ फ्रूट्स. Abscission of leaves and senescence of flower. So these are the particular stages of the life of a plant in which ethylene production is induced. So these are the stages at which ethylene production is induced. Now, ethylene production can also be induced by a variety of external factors. क्या क्या external factors हैं? The first one is mechanical injury. So during mechanical injury, ethylene is produced at higher rate. Second, environmental stresses. It is any type of stress. It may be salinity, it may be flood condition, it may be drought or any other type of oxidative stress. So during these conditions, ethylene production is induced along with mechanical injury and environmental stresses. Chemicals also affect the induction of ethylene production. Chemicals means they may be any plant growth regulator, it may be auxin, etc. Now, about biosynthesis of ethylene. प्लांट में एथिलीन के सिंथेसिस कैसे होता है? So, the biosynthesis of ethylene was first of all given by Young. So, first of all, this biosynthesis of ethylene was studied by Young, and that is why the biosynthesis of ethylene is also known as Young cycle. It is also known as Young cycle. So let us have a look on the biosynthesis of ethylene. So the Young cycle is started with methionine. Actually, methionine is the precursor of the ethylene. So methionine, it is an amino acid which forms S-adenosyl L-methionine. S-adenosyl L-methionine is formed from the methionine in the presence of an enzyme met-adenosyl transferase. Met-adenosyl transferase. It is an enzyme which helps in the formation of S-adenosyl L-methionine. Now this S-adenosyl L-methionine is also known as SAM or adomate. It is also known as SAM or adomate. This SAM forms in the next step. It forms 1-amino cyclopropane 1-amino cyclopropane 1-carboxylic acid. 1-amino cyclopropane 1-carboxylic acid is formed from S-adenosyl L-methionine in the presence of an enzyme known as ACC synthase. It is known as ACC synthase. In short, it is also known as ACS. It is known as ACS. This enzyme ACC synthase determines the synthesis of ethylene. इसकी एक्टिविटी पर डिपेंड करता है कि एथिलीन की सिंथेसिस कैसी होगी. Now, this ACC takes oxygen and in the presence of an enzyme known as ACC oxidase. This ACC oxidase enzyme is known as ethylene forming enzyme. This is known as ethylene forming enzyme. And finally 1-amino cyclopropane 1-carboxylic acid forms ethylene. So this is the biosynthesis of ethylene. Now we will discuss about some physiological effect of ethylene on plants. We will discuss about some physiological effects of ethylene. Make a heading: plant responses to ethylene. प्लांट का क्या रिस्पॉन्स है एथिलीन के प्रेजेंस में? देखिए कुछ फंक्शंस हैं. फर्स्ट वन, इट स्टिमुलेट्स लीफ senescence. The second one is it controls root growth inhibition in compacted soil. जो compacted soil है उनमें root growth के inhibition को क्या करता है? कंट्रोल करता है. The third one is it induces seed germination. The next one is it induces root hair growth. अगर आप लोग रूट का स्ट्रक्चर देखे हो तो उसमें आप देखते हैं छोटे छोटे माइन्यूट हेयर्स पाए जाते हैं, जिनको हम क्या कहते हैं, रूट हेयर्स कहते हैं। तो रूट हेयर की ग्रोथ को भी ये क्या करता है, इंड्यूस करता है। फॉर एफिशिएंट मिनरल एब्जॉर्प्शन, मिनरल और न्यूट्रिएंट्स का एब्जॉर्प्शन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हो सके, इसके लिए रूट हेयर ग्रोथ का इंडक्शन होता है। रूट हेयर for better absorption of minerals and nutrients. And finally, the most important function is it stimulates the fruit ripening. Fruit ripening को क्या करता है, stimulate करता है. That is why this hormone, this plant hormone ethylene is also known as fruit ripening hormone. So that's all about ethylene. Now we will discuss about another hormone which is known as kinetin. It is in your syllabus. Kinetin. So, kinetin, it is a type of cytokinin It is another plant hormone which induces or it promotes सेल डिवीजन। सेल डिवीजन को क्या करता है, प्रमोट करता है, जिसकी वजह से प्लांट में सेल डिवीजन रिपीटेड होता है, रिपीटेड सेल डिवीजन होता है। इट वॉज आइसोलेटेड बाय फर्स्टली it was isolated by Miller and Scoop। तो मिलर एंड स्कूप ने इसे सबसे पहले आइसोलेट किया था एंड इट वाज नेम्ड एज kinetin since it has the ability to induce cell division. That is why its name is kinetic. It induces cell division. However, it is provided that auxin must be present in the medium. Generally, this plant hormone is useful in plant tissue culture experiment where induction of callus formation takes place। प्लांट टिश्यू कल्चर में जहाँ पर कैलस का फॉर्मेशन होता है वो वहाँ पर काइनेटिन का मेन रोल होता है एंड कैलस से शूट टिश्यूज को रीजेनरेट करने के लिए फॉर द रीजेनरेशन ऑफ शूट टिश्यूज इट इज यूज्ड, which is kinetin. Kinetin is used. Now, what is the structure of kinetin? I am making here NH here N. So this is the structure of kinetin. So this is the structure of kinetin. So that's all for today. We have learned about kinetin and another plant hormone, kinetin